What's up, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. And today we're tasting Black IPAs from Common Space, Firestone Walker, Lucky Luke Brewing, and Stone Brewing. I am so damn excited for these. Black IPA is a long time love of mine, and as you probably know, they're basically almost extinct. We don't really see Black IPAs all too often, and just so happens that right now they're hitting, and I thought, what a better time to crack some open, do it on Instagram Live, and get back to the basics with some Black IPAs. So comment and let me know what you're drinking. This is Friday night at 6 p.m. It's time for us to relax, crack some beers, and talk about them. So if you have a Black IPA, a Black Lager, anything dark, I'd say this is the time to crack it open and drink some of it. And let me know what you're drinking. What's up, Brews with Masters, SoCal Beer Guy, Tom Mack, Pello Man, Joshua Herrera, Beer Search Party, MP Los Angeles, P's and Q's. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. I want to hear what you guys are drinking, and I got quite the Black IPA lineup. So I don't do much preparation for this show, really at all. It kind of comes together organically in the days leading up to Friday. And basically two longtime Black IPAs that got retired came back out of retirement, and I got sent them in the mail, and they just so happened to both come this week. And I decided, man, let's do some Black IPAs here. So Firestone Walker Wookie Jack is out of retirement in cans for the very first time. So excited because I really love that beer. And then Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous also came out of retirement. It's in a 22-ounce bomber. Remember those? I remember loving this beer back in the day. And so I decided to get my hands on a couple local Black IPAs. There's not many out there, to kind of round out this tasting a little bit and show some LA love, you know? Even though the Firestone beer was brewed at the Propagator in Venice, I still wanted to bring some kind of small local breweries here. And I got one from Common Space. This one dropped late last year. I had this, it made my list of the top 10 best beers I had last year. So I already had this. I really like this beer. I drank this in another live tasting I did a couple months ago. So thank you to Willie and the folks at Common Space for hooking it up with basically some of the last 4-packs that are in existence right now. But that Black IPA kind of came out of nowhere last year, and it was a hit. So they are rebrewing that beer right now. And so Forget Me Not Black IPA from Common Space is coming back in February. So really excited for that to hit. And then I also got my hands on a really big favorite of mine, the Mortician Black IPA from Lucky Luke Brewing. So this one was dropped late last year as well, and I didn't have this batch. I had a batch early in 2020, like in January. Such a good beer. And there's still some 4-packs of this floating around here and there, and I was able to get some cans of it. So excited, so excited. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm seeing some familiar faces here. Conrad, Chase, what's going on? We got Tennis Beats Life. What up, what up? SoCal Beer Guy. Dead Malt. Yo, yo, yo. Ernie Gunn drinking that Strata Aerobics. Dude, that beer's so good. Really surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by Highland Park at this point in time, but that beer was incredible. SoCal Beer Guy loves the Wookey. Always a fave next to Black the Ripper. I haven't had that beer, but that also, so I was going to talk about this a little bit, and I probably still will, but Wookie Jack getting gold at GABF this past year, with Black the Ripper getting that silver medal. So both in that same category. I really want to try Black the Ripper. I've never had that one. I don't really get much from Rip, to be honest, because their beer doesn't make it up here too much. All right, guys, we're going to get started. Let's crack open a beer. So first up in today's lineup, we have straight out of Hawthorne, California, Forget Me Not Black IPA from Common Space. So we're starting this tasting off lower ABV and going up, and this is the lowest one on the list, 6.66% alcohol by volume. This one's hopped with Citra, and I'm really excited to dig into it. Love that artwork there. Like I was saying, this was a kind of one-off beer that Common Space put out at the end of 2020. It was such a hit that they're currently rebrewing it, and it is coming back. So it's awesome to see that, the resurgence of Black IPA. And on the pour, just a delicious, delicious looking beer. Super roasty, and I remember this one. I've had this, and we talked about this on a live tasting in the past. You have a beer that isn't completely black. It's like a dark, dark brown with a very nice tan head, densely packed foam right on top, just really silky and smooth. Looks really creamy too. So, and also on this beer, you're kind of like, when you look at it in the light, so like you have to kind of get down into like the very edges of the glass. But there's a little bit of turbidity to this beer. It's not completely clear. Whatever the proteins are and whatever are kind of murking up this beer, and it's not all filtered out, which is interesting. I think it's going to lend to some of the mouthfeel in the body on this. So, man, you got that really piney, kind of like pine solly citrus nose. And you get some sweetness from the malt, but you don't get any roast on the nose. And this is kind of bringing me back. I'm remembering experiencing this beer like this. Yeah, just really bright nose, actually, which I think can happen. It's very easy for that to happen in this beer, but it's a little bit jarring to the senses, because when you put your nose into something like this, you are expecting some amount of roast character to come through. But yeah, this is all hop, it's all bright, it's very citrus, it's pine and lemon. Delicious, delicious. This is a great one to start things off. Super bright. Cheers. This beer is showing its age just a little bit and getting a little bit of oxidation. Yeah, I do remember this beer being just a little bit tighter when I had it at the end of 2020. A little less, I don't know, it's got a little bit of a sweetness fall off that I don't really remember. The roast is really nowhere to be found here. It's coming through in sweetness. It's coming through in kind of caramelly sweetness. Yeah, I mean, it isn't as black as what I think some of these other beers are going to be like. It is that dark brown. You can kind of see that in the light there. So yeah, kicking things off with, I think, more of a mellow Black IPA. Maybe, the controversy around these beers is, how can you really call it an IPA because it's not pale, right? So for anyone in the into the craft beer community, back, like, I don't know when this was, maybe like 2010 or 2009, when all these were coming out, and it was, is it a India Black Ale? I think they ended up deciding on Cascadian Dark Ale, which I never really fully bought into, but that's kind of what was the decision on these beers, and all the brewers were just like, fuck it, we're going to keep calling it Black IPA because that's what people know it as at this point. So, I think we're seeing more of the pale side of what a Black IPA can be. Yeah, I mean, that pine salt is coming through. It was bright pine, grapefruit, and lemon on the nose, and that is still coming through on the flavor of this beer as well. So, Forget Me Not Black IPA, we're kicking things off straight out of Hawthorne. And we're going to move straight into what I assume is going to be the star of the show. It's the beer that I'm the most excited about by far, because it is Wookie Jack. This is a favorite of so many beer drinkers. If I'm remembering the story correctly, this came out in about 2012, and they retired it in 2016. I could be completely wrong there, but I do know it was retired in 2016, and they brought it back for GABF last year, and this won the gold medal for the American Dark Ale category, I think it was. So 2020 GABF Gold Wookie Jack IPA. And I'm assuming that inspired them, along with all their fans that were like, we want this beer back. I was one of them. I remember when they retired this, you know, we kind of like all felt gutted because this was just such a favorite. And again, back in those days, this beer looked completely different. It had a lot of that classic Firestone Walker label design, and this is designed, they put a nod to the designer on here. Art by El Gran Tocayo. So it's pretty dope artwork. But yeah, nothing like what the original looks like, and I'm all for that. You gotta freshen things up a little bit, right? Shout out to Boom Hut Canning. Correct. Those guys are busy. Yeah, so for anyone just tuning in, we're drinking Black IPA. What's up, Botman70? Good to see you, buddy. So we're about to crack open this Wookie Jack. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Let's do it. Art, the beer guy joined. What's going on? Oh, beauty. So you can see immediately that there's some more clarity to this beer. There's also a distinct darkness in the SRM. We're going kind of up in SRM there, where there's just more black. It's got more head to it as well. It's way more active on that head. But yeah, I mean, I guess let's put them side by side. You can see it. Yep. This is just like a darker brown, and this is getting way more into that straight black shade. Wookie Jack. This is a black rye. I'm not sure if this one had, if the Common Space one had rye. Yeah, it does. It does have rye. So yeah, black rye IPA. And more roast character on this nose. This is, wow, that head is like fluffy. Really cool. Yeah, you're just getting like, not coffee, but there is like a slight coffee character to it, but it's not overwhelming at all. We are getting a roastiness. I need to swirl this a little bit. This head is like blocking everything. You know, it's a pretty mellow nose. It does have way more roast character on the nose than anything else. I'm not really picking up hoppiness. Maybe a little bit of almost like grassiness. Cheers. Wow. That's a great one. So we're going from Forget Me Not, which I think leaned way more IPA than Black IPA. It did have darkness for sure, but it had the hop character was way brighter and way more forward on that beer. Whereas on Wookie Jack, there's a bitterness 100%, but the hop character is really well balanced with the roast. It's not like shining out forward. Ale to the King, great question. I have the world's worst memory, so I really couldn't tell you. All I know is that I loved it, but I don't remember I can't really remember like picking it apart. It's just incredible balance. You know, you're getting some of that like citrus, so like grapefruit, a little bit of orange. And then there's like a really nice chocolate character to it too. Yeah, really nice chocolate, a light kind of espresso, almost like the creamy part of the espresso, not like the actual black liquid, but the frothiness that comes on top. So yeah, chocolate, coffee, and then just hints of bright citrus. I'll say it again and again on this show, on everything that I do, basically. Balance is the name of the game. This beer really represents balance when you have something as polarizing as a Black IPA, as something that, you know, combines the biggest aroma and flavor components of two different styles of beer and mashes them together. The balance on this beer is just incredible. Really, really good. Yeah, Conrad, this beer's so good. I can't wait to get you a can. Both of these beers have rye in it, so I'm not totally sure. You can pull out the rye if you're tasting for it. For me, like, I have to really know there's rye and to kind of try for it. But you get the rye, definitely. A little spiciness. A little body. Good stuff, man. Wow. Wookie Jack. Get your hands on this beer. I know it's sold out online already, and they're down to like the last cases at Firestone Walker's, like their taproom stores. But do what you can to get your hands on this. Good one. All right, we're moving into beer number 3, guys. So moving right along here into a beer that I really, really love. Oh, and to answer your question, Ale to the King, this one is sitting at 8.3. So we went from 6.6 up to 8.3 here. So obviously that's a step up, and that's going to be a big difference between two different beers. And when you think about it that way, which I wasn't thinking about, it makes sense that there was a little bit of more imbalance, that the roast and the malt character didn't hold up against all of that hoppiness. That hoppiness just kind of cut right through it in Forget Me Not. And then as Firestone Walker bumped things up to 8.3, you have more malt, more body, more there to kind of complement that hop character, and it resulted in a much more balanced experience. So we're moving on to the Mortician Black IPA from Lucky Luke, 8.7%. So these are black double IPAs, I guess, if you're gonna call them, or double Cascadian dark ales, or whatever the hell you're gonna call this style of beer. Lucky Luke up in Palmdale. They have a brew pub in Lancaster. Their production brewery is in Palmdale, and I really like these guys. These guys have been around for several years now, and there's a handful of breweries up in that northern tip of LA County, and they're killing it. They're doing a really good job. And Lucky Luke, really across a lot of different styles. I love their hoppy beers, but they do a lot of really good stuff. Their Luke's OG, a blonde ale, which is really good, and I typically don't gravitate to blonde ales, but they do a really good one. This is the Mortician, and you gotta love that artwork there. I think they switch up the artwork on the can the past couple years they put this out. And this is an annual release for them. They put this out one time a year. Hopefully they end up increasing production of this, as I think the beer world is starting to clamor for maltier beers in general, and I think maltier IPAs is something that might balance out all of the haze and everything going on the lighter side of the spectrum. So let's cross our fingers. I feel like right now I'm seeing a lot of excitement over these darker IPAs, and let's keep that excitement going. Okay. All right. So we're cracking open the Mortician Black IPA, 8.7% from Lucky Luke Brewing Company. Let's pour it out and see what's inside. Okay. So it's dark. I think it's a little lighter than the Wookey. I can't really compare it. They're pretty similar, I guess. In the light, I'm getting a little bit more reddish hue to this. We still have like a really active head here, really frothy, densely packed bubbles, really nice looking head sitting on top. So I'm really liking that. This is the beer I don't know much about. They don't put much out on their website about like the ingredients and the recipe. There's nothing on the can, because Common Space like lays it all out there. Like their recipe notes are on their cans and online and stuff. And then Firestone publishes theirs on their website. But yeah, Lucky Luke, I don't know much about. Yeah, Conrad, I miss a good black IPA too. I want to throw it out to El Segundo. Like, those guys need to brew a black IPA. I think they would just kill it, and they would just juxtapose so nicely against their like strictly West Coast lineup. Kind of the way they did that LA Showdown, where it was like a red IPA. A black IPA would be kind of cool too. I wonder if they've ever done one. They probably have. So on the nose, we're getting like creamy coffee. Milk chocolate. Little bit of pitiness on the nose too. It's got like this creamy smell. I don't know if it's just like this head and it's just like so frothy that in my mind it's coming through as like creaminess. But yeah, the roast character is beautiful on the nose here. I really like that a lot. It's like a really, I don't want to say sweet coffee, but it's like a not bitter coffee. Like a chocolatey coffee. Really, really nice. So, curating beer. Andrew, what's going on, buddy? They brewed Pine Tar Incident and won a GABF medal. There you go, man. Coming through with the info. Thank you. That must have been a little while ago. That must have been at least a couple years ago. But they should bring that back, though. I think this is the time. Black IPA. Andrew, what do you say? Are black IPAs making a resurgence? Can we make this happen? Do you want to make it happen? I think you're the tastemaker there. Really good beer. The bitterness on this beer shines through compared to the others. Really big bitterness that cuts through the huge malt presence that's there. All right, Andrew's for it. I'm for it. Let's do it. Andrew, I hope you're drinking a black IPA. This is great. This is great. So, Wookie Jack shined in its balance. It shined in the kind of like really perfect execution of this delicious chocolatey roast profile with a really nice citrus hop profile with a little bit of bitterness, but it was just so well balanced, so drinkable. It hit the ABV 100%. Yeah, it was a really nice beer. This beer is a big beer. This beer has bitterness. It has roast. These flavors are kind of like screaming out at you as you're drinking the beer. This beer is not for the faint of heart. This is a flavorful, punch you in the mouth type of beer. I think this is a really good warm-up to the Stone beer that we're about to open up, the Sublimely Self-Righteous, because that is a Stone style, that punch you in the mouth type of style. Yeah, Wookey was tame. It was just so delicious and delicate, and this beer is just blasting me in the face in a really, really good way. Drinking a liter of Foamer Pills from MT. Nice. I like it. You're a classy man. That's why I like you. Any difference in body? Yes, there is a difference in body. I don't know if this beer uses rye. Like I said, I'm not really the one to pick it out blind. But there's definitely a lightness in this body compared to Wookie Jack. Doesn't have the velvetyness and the smoothness. It's the body is light. It hits your palate, it hits your mouth, and it just washes away. But it blasts it with a big amount of roasty malt and a huge amount of bitterness too. This is just like classic. I mean, Black IPA is classic, but this is like classic IPA flavors. You're getting, I feel like there's like Amarillo, Chinook, and Citra in here. Like you're getting a lot of orange, you're getting a lot of grapefruit, you're getting a A lot of bitterness, a little bit of dankness, a lot of pine. Good beer. Really good beer. Really like this a lot. So for anyone just tuning in, that was the Mortician by Lucky Luke. 8.7%. Man, I'm so glad I got that beer. I picked it up yesterday afternoon, just with the anticipation of putting this tasting together. The Common Space beer, I got like an hour ago. They delivered it to me an hour ago. We scrambled to get this in my hands, and I'm so glad that we did, because that beer's basically gone right now. What's up? We deliver liquor. Sky, hopefully it's Sky tuning on. What's going on, man? All right, so that's 3 Black IPAs so far. We started things off with the Common Space, 6.66%. Moved on into Firestone Wookie Jack, which is just amazing. Amazing. Please get your hands on this beer if you can. So good. And then we just opened up the Mortician from Lucky Luke. Yeah, you like that hat? Casa, baby. And we're moving into Stone, and once again, I forgot my bottle opener. Un momento. Yeah, I gotta represent Ventura County. Lived up there for a little bit. All right. Actually was living in Ventura when I started Hop to LA. Fun fact. All right, so we're on to the last beer of the day, and what is this in my hand? It's just so foreign to me. 22-ounce bottle, it's gigantic. It's got this gargoyle on it. What is this? I feel like I just got transported in a time machine. Wow, 8.7%, Stone Brewing, Sublimely Self-Righteous. This was just a really delicious compliment to the Stone hops in your face lineup from, I guess, like 2010, 2000. They retired this in 2015, but I just remember loving this beer. I loved having the option of integrating a black IPA into my beer drinking session. If I was drinking Stone IPA or Green Flash or Ballast Point, I love the opportunity to be like, all right, I need my hops, but I want to go dark for my last one. I wasn't drinking a lot of stouts back then. So this was just a mainstay for me in kind of providing a lot of that darker, sweeter, more roasty character that I wanted to complement all that big blast of like IPA, double IPA. So I am so glad to see this back in action. This is a limited release right now. I don't know if they'll bring it back. And I just saw a comment from my boy James. Wookie Jack to be released again in February. So you got all the info, man. You know more than me. It's great to know. So yeah, this is a little preview. So if it's sold out, you wait till February, you get it again. Pello Man, I will not be drinking all of this bomber. Are you crazy? Old school label, 11th anniversary beer. Oh, is that what it was? Nice. Good to know. Sky, yes. Let's collab soon. Let's talk, for sure. It's been a while. Ale to the King. Got it in 6-pack bottles in Colorado yesterday. Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad it made it over to you. I think it went into nationwide distribution. So props to Stone for just like bringing that back, putting it out there, putting all their muscle behind it. Because I think the people really liked it. And again, we're seeing a great pour here. This is a little bit more similar to Lucky Luke's color. Actually, it might be a little more similar to the Common Space, where it's a very, very, very dark shade of brown. It is not completely black. In the light, I'm getting red, really amber and garnet colors around the edges here. I don't think it's coming through in the video, but yeah, I mean, it looks amber here on the edges here. So yeah, really nice looking beer. And then the head, again, really, really fluffy, densely packed bubbles that are sitting there. And it's just a very active and frothy head. Really nice. What's up, Norwalk Brew House? All right. That looks like a good beer. I'm gonna drink it. All right, first I'm gonna smell it. Okay, hops are coming through in a big way on this beer. Like lemon, lime, little grapefruit. Grassy. Little orange too. Bright. This is a bright nose. This fucks with your mind a little bit because you are expecting, like I have been this whole time, like major roast character. I mean, call me a noob to Black IPA. I guess I am at this point. All my Black IPA street cred was from 10 years ago, so I feel like I'm experiencing this again for the first time. And the roast is just mild. It's not even there on the nose. I'm not... Little sweetness, I guess, but not much else. So I'm done smelling it. Gotta drink it. Cheers. This is the most IPA of all of these Black IPAs. So this is... this drinks like a really good old school IPA. Like you're not getting a lot of big roasty sweetness on this. That part is pretty subdued. There's malt character there for sure. There it is. At the very end, there's like a coffee roastiness. It's not sweet. It's got a great body. The mouth feels fantastic too. Man, I don't know which beer I like best. Like this one's really good in a way that I can't really describe. It's almost like what I liked about Lucky Luke that was like in your fucking face, and then what I liked about the Wookie Jack, which was so balanced and just like so drinkable. This beer is achieving both of those things in a completely different way, and I don't get it. I can't understand it. I'm trying to put my finger on it, and I don't know, and I almost don't care. Like I just want to enjoy drinking it and enjoy this for what it is, and not try to figure out like, why do I like this so much? Because it is in your face. Like there is a major hop bitterness. There is major hop flavor coming through in this beer. But it's also extremely drinkable, and like, it's really like, I don't know, like, I can't describe it. It's messing with my head. It's messing with my head. I don't know. I think I just drank my favorite beer. Man, this doesn't happen that often, but like, you ever have those times where you drink a beer and you love it and you don't know why? You can't pick out like, okay, I like this. These are the types of beers that I like. So like, that's why I like this beer. Like this beer, I'm like, I don't know. I could pick out what I liked about all those other beers. And this one, I just like it. Which makes for a terrible beer tasting. But fuck it. You know, like this isn't the Cicerone test. Like I don't need to break it down. So Stone, Sublimely Self-Righteous, just pulling through at the very end. This is the biggest beer on the list here, 8.7%. Actually, I think both of these were 8.7, right? Yeah. All really good beers. All really good beers. Wow. Black IPAs 2021. This is the year. It is the year of Black IPA. Hazy's out. West Coast is out. Whatever the fucking smoothie, pastry, dessert, sour thing you guys are all drinking, that shit is out. Black IPA is it. That's all we're drinking now. Pellaman, you're 100% correct. This tasting was amazing. I am going to continue drinking all of these beers. But the winner of this tasting, my favorite beer, let's say that, is the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous. This is just a killer beer. I mean, I typically go back around and kind of do a little revisit on each one, but I don't even know if I need to. Great stuff. Great stuff. So I'm going to go back. I am going to go back around just to kind of wrap it up. We are a couple minutes early. What's up, Johnny Rev? So this is so hop forward. Really hop forward. Orange peel, lemon peel, grapefruit peel, green grassy dankness. Like, this is just all hops with some sweetness from the malt character. I mean, it's not fair to go up against these beers. This is 6.6%. The others are big double IPAs, almost 9%. Yeah, I mean, I would try this beer again. I would not try it in a tasting against these other beers, but it is a very good beer. And I'm looking forward to seeing the second brew of this coming in February, because I really like what Common Space is putting out. And yeah, I mean, I think we're talking about black IPAs here. This is the only black IPA. The others are all double IPAs. So this isn't a class of its own. It's unfair to judge it against the rest, but it is very hop forward, very little roastiness on that beer, which I think I want a little more of, to be honest. That's what I'm looking for in this beers. I'm looking for big roast, big hops, battling it out to the death. And this is Wookie Jack revisiting this one last time, and just a beautiful nose. Wow. Great, like, coffee. This has a roasty nose and very little hop character. And this beer's balanced all the way through. It is so damn drinkable. Got a great spiciness from the rye. I mean, that is a world-class beer. There's a reason why it won Gold at GABF. That is an amazing beer made by amazing brewers. Get your hands on that beer. It's so good. Just incredibly drinkable and balanced. That is what it is. It's so good. We got that Lucky Luke here. Yeah, and you get it right on the nose. It's just like, these are big, massive flavors on both sides. Big roasty sweetness, big hop bitterness, citrus, grass, pine, resin, coffee, chocolate. I mean, these are just blasting you in the face. It's a fun beer. This is a fun beer. If your palate can handle big attacks, I would say this Lucky Luke is really right up your alley. And I will call out, I got 14 Cannons Glassware. They brew a black IPA that's really, really good as well. They don't can it, and I do not have it today, but they have it, I think, year round. So check that out too, because I love 14 Cannons. And then we finished it all up with Sublimely Self-Righteous by Stone Brewing. Favorite pick of the day. I mean, this beer just has such a, it's got a kinship with Wookie Jack. Like, I'm tasting this, and again, I'm being brought back to balance. But the balance in Stone is way up here, way above the screen. Whereas the balance in Wookie Jack is like straight up the middle. Hop character and roast character just deliciously executed. Whereas Stone, they amp everything up. It's bitter, it's roasty, it's big, but it's big on both sides, and it's done in a way that kind of like is really cohesive. I think that's kind of the difference when I'm talking about Lucky Luke being massive in flavor in a lot of different directions. This is kind of like battling. It's forcing your palate. If you have a beer drinker that isn't a big beer drinker, isn't an IPA drinker, doesn't like those big flavors, this is gonna be a difficult beer for them. It's gonna be a difficult beer for a lot of people. Where Stone does very similar things, but does them in a way that is just incredibly cohesive. The body's a little bit smoother. It's a little kind of like richer and more velvety. Yeah, and just everything kind of ties together really well. Like I was saying, I can't really describe it, and I'm not gonna try anymore because it is what it is. Really, really good. So that's Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous Black IPA. This is a Black IPA tasting. I don't think any of you guys are drinking Black IPAs. No one commented in that they were drinking Black IPA. So shame on you all, but hopefully this inspired you guys to grab some Black IPA when you see it next, wherever you may be. We do know that Common Space Forget Me Not is coming back in February. We do know that Wookie Jack from Firestone Walker is almost sold out, but is coming back in February as well, according to my friend James, who does tend to lie, so that could not be true. Then we have Lucky Luke the Mortician, which tends to be a annual release, and it got released I think in October or November. So that may be a while before that comes back, but I think we can really petition those guys. Lucky Luke, brew some more Mortician. And then Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous, this has come back for a limited time. It is out in stores. It does have massive distribution. So go out, grab this beer. This is my favorite of the bunch. I can't wait to continue drinking it. And who knows, maybe they'll keep it going if we all buy enough of it and drink it. So yeah, that's our Black IPA tasting. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to do this again next week. We're going to do it again the week after that. So please keep coming back. Please continue commenting. Let me know what you're drinking. And yeah, if you have any suggestions on tastings that I should do in the near future, definitely let me know. Like, I'm open to suggestions. Like I said, I don't plan this out in advance. So I have no idea what's happening next week. I have no idea what's happening anytime after that. So drop a comment on this video. It's going to be posted. You know where to find me. So let me know what you want to see in a future tasting. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Peace out.